This is a Bugaboo Cameleon 2, so that would be the second generation. Today we're going to talk about a problem whereby the front and back ends do not release when you have removed the seat. So a lot of people actually think that when you put the stroller upright, that the front and back elements are supposed to lock in place, as they are here. Because they do this on the Cameleon 3. But on the Cameleon 1 and 2, the distance between the back frame and the front frame only locks at an angle after you put the seat on. So if you're having a problem whereby you can't then fold your stroller back down because the back and front frames are locked in this position, then what's going on is that the mechanism running down from the spokes and in between these two discs needs to be most likely just lubricated in order to get it to be working again. One thing you do want to check though is that the handle up at the top of the stroller, you have the handle adjustment mechanism, and you want that to be adjusted to the same length on both sides, because if one side is longer than the other, you're essentially changing the angle at which these discs all fit together. You also want to look a little bit at your stroller to make sure that there aren't damaged elements, say here, here, or on the front bar that might cause the entire stroller to be misaligned in the discs. So all of these are supposed to be sort of straight, and thus all the discs line up in a straight fashion. So assuming there's not a bending problem, some sort of damage in terms of bending on the stroller, most likely what's going on here when you have this problem is that you need to lubricate this mechanism. And this is related to another problem, or another problem that has to do with the same mechanism, is when you can't get your frame to connect to the stroller. Both of these have the same mechanism at fault. What's going on is that when you put the frame on, it depresses these buttons, and it also pushes down on the inside of this spoke or the strut, and this whole plastic piece is supposed to move, and that pushes down inside the disc. And inside the disc, between, say, the two discs, is a wheel with a lot of little pegs. And when that thing pushes down, when it locks in place, those pegs push out against the next disc, and the next disc has corresponding holes, and thus it grips it at very many points. So it is a pretty complex mechanism, and it should stay lubricated. So in order to then get this to function again properly, you're going to take a lubricant, something like WD-40. You need something that's going to run inside, so unless you're actually opening this up, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a silicone spray, even though this is plastic parts, simply because silicone spray does not usually run into the mechanisms well enough. And you want to do the insides of those struts as well as between, again, the two inner discs. Lubricate it well. And then you want to, you heard that? That was those popping up. So you want to work this mechanism. See how it moves? Down again is activated in the locking position, and up is unlocked. I heard this pop right back into the proper position as soon as I started lubricating it, which means that, as you can see, the back and front frames now fold back against each other as they should. So in any case, that is a quick fix for this problem, whereby on a Cameleon 2, and I believe a Cameleon 1, although it's a while since I've worked on one, whereby the front and back frames lock into place such that you cannot fold down your stroller to pack it away. We hope this video has been useful to you. If it has been, we ask you to subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. Thank you.